It's a high-flying balance between adrenaline-filled adventure and the calming, serene, raw beauty of the Ozarks.
Like, that is fun. Like, I'm still sweaty.
It's machinery, technology, cutting-edge innovation, cruising over miles and miles of the picturesque natural beauty of Northwest Arkansas. Grab a seat and hold on tight. We're taking off with Fly Oz in this aviation episode of Downtown Now. Welcome to Thaden Field. This 22,000 square foot aviation hub is the home to a passionate and growing aviation community right here in Bentonville. The field house at the Bentonville Municipal Airport includes Summit Aviation Flight School, the Oz 1 Flying Club, an exhibition hangar, an FAA Knowledge Testing Center. It's the home of Game Composites and a full-service cafe called Louise. On top of that, it offers scenic flights, discovery flights, and much more. And this entire complex, Thaden Field, is named after Louise Thaden. Born in Bentonville in 1905, Louise Thaden took to the skies. In 1927, she was an aviation pioneer. And within a year, she was setting records in the air and breaking barriers for women on the ground. She set the women's altitude record. She set the solo endurance record and the speed record in the late 1920s. And I'll be honest, I'm skinning the surface of her accomplishments, but this impressive woman was the most famous female aviator of her time alongside Amelia Earhart. And in the spirit of Louise Thaden, today the Oz 1 Flying Club works to make aviation accessible to anyone hoping to take to the skies. Brooke Bierhaus grabbed a camera and explored the skies with the director of Oz 1, Jordan Hott.
At Downtown Bentonville Inc., we love sharing stories on Bentonville and beyond. Well, today we're getting a new view of Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas. We're getting a view from the sky. We're going to go with the director of Oz 1 Flying Club, Jordan Hott, and she's right behind me. We're about to get into that plane right there, learn a little bit more about Jordan, and get up in the sky.
I've been around aviation my whole life. My dad was a pilot when I was a little girl, and airports, just being an airport rat, anything to be able to be at an airport. So flying was always my favorite thing. As long as I can remember, my first memories are on airfields. So I was really lucky that I had that introduction, but I didn't have anyone in my life who encouraged me to fly. And in fact, I didn't know a single female pilot at that time. And then I was about 30 years old, and I was on a Twin Otter flying around islands in the Caribbean. And it just so happened the pilot was a woman. And we struck up this conversation, and she could see how passionate I was about it and how much I loved it. And right before we got in the airplane, she looked me in the eyes and she said, "You need to be a pilot." And it was the first time in my whole life that I thought I could be a pilot. So I came back and I started flight lessons. We opened in October of 2018. At that time, I was a server with the club. I was a flight student, and so Oz 1 approached me about helping open the club. And we opened in October 2018. We had a handful of members at that time, and now we're up to about 320 members.
What?
Yep.
Wow. So how does one become a member?
That depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a social membership, just to be around pilots, even if you're not a pilot, we have social membership. For our flying members, it's a little bit more complicated. We do have a fleet of 7 aircraft. So if you're looking for something to fly, we do a logbook review. We talk through qualifications and credentials and how we go about getting you checked out in the aircraft. And then we start that process. Oz 1 Flying Club exists specifically to make aviation accessible in Northwest Arkansas. Arkansas. We have an amazing flight school here, and they make it easy to get started and start flying. But the issue that a lot of people face when they finish and they get their private pilot certificate, what do they fly at that point? So the club exists to meet that need. We're here to give you high quality, absolute highest quality, best maintenance with the least stress possible. You know, we take care of pulling the airplane out for you and keeping it clean and keeping it in good condition. And that is real accessibility. I can say that as an aircraft owner. There's a lot to be said for having somebody else take care of all that, especially, and there's so many barriers to entry. We have a lot of young pilots, which is really unusual. We have so many young professionals here in Northwest Arkansas, and they're flocking to aviation. So we're happy to give them a home. And we have a disproportionately high number of female students compared to the rest of the industry. Same thing in the club, I think. So yeah, we skew younger than the average for sure. We're extremely family friendly here. That's the point. That's why you don't see any fences around us. We've worked really hard to make this an airport that's totally accessible to the community. You know, I think people are shocked when they come to Northwest Arkansas. I'm from here, so I'm an advocate for sure. I've been all over the world, and I choose to live here because it is exceptional. But from the air, Northwest Arkansas is truly beautiful. Earlier today, actually, all morning I've been flying because we have a friend in town from Germany. And we've been flying him all over the Ozarks, and he's just astounded, you know, constantly. Oh, it's so beautiful. And you go a few miles and the landscape changes completely. I think it's unmatched, unparalleled, and it's different, you know, than what you'll see elsewhere. But it's worth coming into town to see. And if you live here, you have to see it from that perspective at least once in your life. If you're just looking to see the Ozarks from a bird's eye view, you can come here to Thaden Field and get something we call a scenic flight. And so that's a little 30-minute flight, and we'll buzz you around the Ozarks. So right over downtown Bentonville, you'll see crystal bridges from the air, which is really gorgeous, to a really beautiful grass airstrip called Trigger Gap. We've worked with a lot of partners. The Recreational Aviation Foundation worked with them to make that happen. Nature Conservancy actually owns that land, and it's one of the first times they've partnered to turn one into an airfield.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have that right here in our backyard.
So what do you think about when you're in the air? Other than like not crashing, right? What do you think about?
You know, that's one of the beautiful things about flying, is that you get so caught up in the flow of it that you stop thinking. When it's really good, you don't as a person exist. You know, your ego or personality or whatever just ceases to be, and you're just fulfilling the tasks in front of you. And there's a real sense of satisfaction in there, like a freedom and a joy, a release of having to think about, you know, the day-to-day stuff in life, and just being totally absorbed in that task.
Check out oz1club.com online or head to Oz1 Flying Club on Facebook. Up next, Tracy Cavisto wants you to know that anyone in Northwest Arkansas can learn to fly. In fact, she's on her way to becoming a licensed pilot, and she's going to share her story next.
Being helpful is what Arvest Bank is all about. And part of being helpful is listening to our customers, which is one of the reasons why Arvest Go, our mobile app, has been certified 2 years in a row by J.D. Power for providing an outstanding mobile banking experience. You can easily pay friends, securely lock and unlock your cards, plus deposit checks, pay bills, and more. So download Arvest Go today. Arvest Bank, ready to help.
Home is a place we've all seen a little too much of these past few months. But home was all we had. So as we go back out into the big wide world, maybe we'll return with a new appreciation for the place that kept our loved ones safe and close beside us. Because even after 114 years in the business of home, one thing is more clear than ever. When home is all you have, you certainly have a whole lot.
What was the catalyst behind making aviation accessible to everyone right here in Bentonville? Here's some background for you on one contributing factor. Last fall, we spoke with Stuart Walton, who shared his experiences with recreational aviation while living in England. And he shared with us his vision for creating a similar experience right here in the natural state.
But over in England, for whatever reason, most of the general aviation is recreational. I'm going to take off. I'm going to go fly over my neighbor's house. I'm going to go check out this, castle on the hill, and then I'm going to come back and, go home.
On grass airstrips.
Oh yeah.
This isn't like I'm envisioning airports. This is a
No, this is like
dirt.
This is kind of throwback flying, biplanes and open cockpits and all that good stuff. And I thought, man, what if we tried to kind of at least get something like that going here, and what could that look like? So the other experience that we had, my brother and I, we took a flying trip into like Idaho, Utah, a little bit of Montana, Colorado, and did some camping with the plane. And we thought, man, you could do this in Arkansas, in the Ozarks.
And that vision and subsequent aviation investments impacted our community, including Tracy Cavisto. She's one of my coworkers at Downtown Bentonville Incorporated. She's also going through the process of becoming a pilot. Tracy's journey began right here at Thaden Field as she watched planes take off down the runway.
And I actually got my husband a Discovery flight many years ago and thought, oh, it'd be really cool if he was a pilot. And then we moved to Bentonville and came over to Louise for breakfast. And they had signage all over that was like, be a pilot. And I said, I want to be a pilot. And we were here with a party of people, and I said, hold on a second, I'm gonna be a pilot. And I went up to the desk and I signed up that day. My name is Tracy Cavisto, and I am a student, and I am becoming a private pilot. And I am currently at the solo cross-country stage of my training. We have the resources here, which makes a huge difference. You can walk into this place and learn a lot about flying just from being here in the facility at Thaden Field. If you want to do it, you absolutely can do it. So Summit has done a really excellent job of organizing their curriculum. You know exactly what you're going to be working on, so that I could study ahead and be prepared for the flight that I was about to do. And I don't think that I could do that and keep it organized and be able to progress unless I really had those study materials. The first step, I would say, is come enjoy this facility and see how easy it is and how accessible it is. You're gonna see all the pilots and the instructors and everyone just walking around and talk to somebody, pick up a conversation. I would definitely recommend a Discovery flight. Yeah, they do a great job of selling you on the, on the flying in the Discovery flight. Having control of the airplane, it's powerful, right? Because then you know how it functions. And you realize I'm 1,000 feet up in the air and I'm looking down, and that's really cool. We have beautiful landscape. We have lakes to the north of us and lakes to the east of us, and that's typically where we go when we're practicing. So you look down and you're passing crystal bridges and you're going over downtown, and for us, that's thrilling. Like, I'm usually in the middle of downtown, and here I am like looking down, and it's amazing out there, and especially when you know that you're at the controls of the plane and that you're looking over the city. Like, this is a whole different perspective.
If Tracy's story sparked your interest in learning how to fly, step one, we're going to pop it right up on your screen. Head to iflysummit.com and click on Flight Training. Or you could head right to downtown Bentonville to Fly Oz's pop-up, which will be open until the end of March. The space offers information for anyone interested in aviation in our region. It also has a full range of aviation swag. You can grab a t-shirt, you can grab a book, or even an aviation-themed teddy bear. And don't miss the flight simulator. It's a free way to experience flying with 2 feet firmly on the ground. Heather Shelton dropped by to check it out.
Brand is a branding thing. Everybody got to know which ones I wore because I know they want to know.
What's up, friends? It's your girl Heather, and I got to hang out at the new pop-up Fly Oz right in the heart of downtown. And boy, it did not disappoint.
I pressed it so hard too.
But you know what? You made it on the ground.
Everybody lived. That's the
so.
point. Like
Everyone
I was
in the
okay.
plane, maybe not everyone in that house.
My mama was okay. Listen, they saw me fly and they need to get out.
Why are they living by that room?
Yeah, why would you put a house right next to a runway? Y'all aren't going to sleep ever.
This unique flight simulator experience takes you to the friendly skies where you can get the feel of an aircraft. Whether you're a seasoned pilot or just someone who thinks they want to be a pilot, this is the place for you.
Dude, this is how it feels? It's so different from driving.
It really is.
It's like very different. It's not natural. But it's fun, cause it's like working a whole other part of your brain.
That's true.
So how do people, how much does it cost to do this? Coming in here, what's the rates?
$0.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. It costs $0 to come get certified, I just did. Wait, I didn't get certified.
Yeah, you didn't quite get certified.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Wait. This flight simulator gives you all the feels. Anyone who is looking to learn how to fly, what it feels like, just wanting to just know a little bit more about flying. This is what you need to come and do, guys. And what the man say? Free? Come on, can't beat that. Definitely, this is a must-see in downtown Bentonville.
You can drop by the Fly Oz pop-up on Tuesdays through Saturdays at 117 West Central Avenue in downtown Bentonville. Up next, grab your family, coworkers, or a few friends. We're going to check out the new charter service at Thaden Field up next.
Being helpful is what Arvest Bank is all about. And part of being helpful is listening to our customers, which is one of the reasons why Arvest Go, our mobile app, has been certified 2 years in a row by J.D. Power for providing an outstanding mobile banking experience. You can easily pay friends, securely lock and unlock your cards, plus deposit checks, pay bills, and more. So download Arvest Go today. Arvest Bank, ready to help.
Home is a place we've all seen a little too much of these past few months. But home was all we had. So as we go back out into the big wide world, maybe we'll return with a new appreciation for the place that kept our loved ones safe and close beside us. Because even after 114 years in the business of home, one thing is more clear than ever. When home is all you have, you certainly have a whole lot.
Biking, hiking, golf, shopping excursions, sporting events, even just a big fun family vacation. The new charter at Thaden Field can get you there.
Can you believe I've never been on a private charter plane? Me either. Well, today that all changes as we get an exclusive look with the chief pilot of the charter plane, Caio Campos. Wow, we've got a lot of room back here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right, so chartering a plane, what is that typically, who are your typical customers? Like who's doing a flight?
We see, there's no one specific customer. There's so many different types of trips that we do. So, you know, sometimes it'll be a bunch of buddies going skiing in the mountains, or a business trip going to South Carolina for a one-day meeting day or something. Or, you know, your flight got canceled at XNA and you and your family are ready to go to Disney and you got to get there, so they call us. And all of those have happened.
Cool. Now, that's not very typical, right? To be able to have that accessibility of a charter of a plane in your own backyard.
Sure, especially in a small town like Bentonville. We are here and able and accessible. It is a bit more expensive than you would imagine a airline flight costing.
Sure.
But, you know, that's just kind of the trade-off for accessibility.
Awesome.
It's a fairly large size cabin, so we can comfortably take 9 passengers if we had to.
Wow.
Right now it's set up for 6, a bit more comfortable, and 6 and a bunch of gear. We can fit a ton of cargo in here. We like to call it a Suburban with wings on it, because we can absolutely fit 6 or 7 people and enough gear and skis and boots and stuff for a week of skiing. So.
Wow. So it's kind of customizable in that sense. Like you said, you can add in more seats.
Right.
Wow, that's incredible. When did you start chartering flights, or how long have you been in operation?
So we officially kicked off January 1st of this year, so only a few months. Yep, brand new, but we've been super busy ever since. So we'll average 40 hours of flying a month in this airplane so far this year. So far.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, keeps me very busy for sure.
Oh, wow. Now, do you ever find people, passengers, like they're for what they think their flight's going to be like, and then afterwards they're like, whoa, this was totally different or unique than something that I ever expected?
Yeah, I think people are surprised by our level of service. We pride ourselves on a high level of customer service. So it's end to end. When they arrive, we're loading their bags. We beforehand, we know what food and snacks and drinks they want on board. So the plane is fully equipped and loaded with what they want. To the point where when they're returning, there's warm cookies sitting on their seat waiting for them, and their favorite drinks in the cooler, whatever they want. So, and that seems to be like, wow, man, I didn't expect to see that level of service. So that's something that we pride ourselves on for sure.
Now, the inside is beautiful, but I know the outside is also super unique. It's got a beautiful art design.
Yeah.
Want to show me that?
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's go.
Cool. At first when I saw it, I thought it was a sticker, but I'm wrong, right?
Yes, for sure.
Tell me about it. This is hand painted.
Super hand painted, yeah. So when we were looking at purchasing this airplane, one of the directives from the boss was it's got to have a cool paint job. So we set out to have a really cool one designed. We kind of, pooled our ideas and came up with, a topographic map of the Ozarks would be very cool. So we got with a designer who designed this airplane from nose to tail, and this is what he came up with. And this was hand painted, every line. So this is the topographic map of the Ozarks, specifically the Ponca region, the Buffalo River, with kind of the topo lines and all that stuff. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, you can see the elevation and everything too,
Yeah.
right? The 1400, 1600.
And
Very
there's a ton of these Pilatuses flying around, but rarely is there one with a cool paint job. So we'll land in the middle of wherever, and the line guys that are parking the airplane are like, man, this is a really cool paint job. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to get to have it noticed. I had a tower guy the other day. It's like, man, that's a spiffy looking Pilatus as we taxied by. So it does stand out for sure.
To learn more about the private charter service at Thaden Field, head to thadenfield.com. Now that's it for this aviation edition of Downtown Now. If you're inspired and want to learn more, we hope you check out Thaden Field. Check out the Fly Oz pop-up in downtown Bentonville or head to our website for a full list of resources. Hey, take a scenic flight, try the simulator. Take the kids to Louise and watch the planes take off. There's an aviation experience for all comfort levels in Bentonville. We'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, produced by the community nonprofit Downtown Bentonville, Inc. Our team works year-round to build and promote a welcoming and lively downtown Bentonville through experiences, education, and storytelling. Last year, as events were put on hold in our region, Downtown Bentonville, Inc. launched Downtown Media, a community-supported, community-driven storytelling platform. You can see our videos on social media, before movies at Skylight, and right here on KNWA. If you would like to learn more about DBI and Downtown Media, or be featured in one of our storytelling projects, or support us in an upcoming year, please visit downtownbentonville.org.